What if I told you that everything you learn could actually stick? Every YouTube video, every article, every random idea you have at 2 a.m. Imagine if none of it ever disappeared from your life. That's what happened when I discovered this concept called a second brain. And look, I'm not some productive guru with years of experience. I'm literally just figuring life out, like you probably. But the system has changed how I learn, create, and actually use the information I consume every single day. Today I'm breaking down what a second brain is and how to build one, even if you're just starting out. Let's get into it. What is a second brain? Here's the problem we all have. Your brain is amazing at thinking, but terrible at remembering. You watch a great video about communication skills. A week later, you're in a situation where those skills would be perfect, but you can barely remember what the video was even about. That information just vanished. A second brain is basically a personal system where you save everything important that comes into your life, not just saving it randomly, but organizing it so you can actually find and use it later. Think of it like this. Your brain is for having ideas and making connection. Your second brain is for storing those ideas so they don't disappear forever. It's that simple. And before you think, great, another complicated system I'll abandon in a week. Trust me, this is different. Let me show you why. The foundation. 3 key ideas. There are 3 core ideas that make this whole thing work. Let me break them down. Creativity is just remixing. You know how people say, I'm just not creative? Yeah, I used to say that too. But here's what nobody tells you. Creativity isn't coming up with completely original ideas out of nowhere. It's about combining things you already know in new ways. Every song samples other music. Every movie borrows from other films. Every great idea builds on something that existed before. So when you save interesting concepts from books, videos, or conversation, you're building a library of ingredients. Later, you mix those ingredients together and boom, you're not inventing from scratch. You're remixing with your own flavor. Idea number 2, capture everything immediately. This is huge. If you don't write it down within 30 seconds, it's basically gone. Ever had a great idea while taking a walk? Told yourself, I remember this, and then completely forgot it? That happens because our brains are not reliable storage devices. So the habit is simple. Whenever something clicks for you, capture it right away. Could be typing it in your notes app, could be scribbling on your hand, if that's all you've got. I keep my phone's notes app on my home screen. When I'm watching a video and hear something good, I pause and type it out. When I'm walking with a friend and they say something insightful, I literally ask them to hold on a second while I save it. It feels weird at first, but now it's automatic. The game changer for me, I realized I was having my best ideas in the shower and losing them all. So I got one of those waterproof notepads. Sounds ridiculous, but I've captured some of my best thoughts there. Idea number 3, build for projects, not perfection. Here's why most people mess up. They're note-taking systems. They get obsessed with organization. They create 47 folders with perfect categories and color-coded tags and spend more time organizing than actually using their notes. Then they burn out and quit. The trick is organize around what you're actually doing. Not vague categories like business or self-improvement, but real projects like starting my YouTube channel or preparing for job interviews. When you save something, ask yourself, what am I working on that this relates to? Then put it there. That's it. And here's the anti-perfectionism rule. It doesn't need to be neat. It doesn't need to look pretty. It just needs to work. Your second brain is a tool, not an Instagram post. How to actually use it. Okay, so how does this work in real life? Let me give you some examples that actually matter. For content creation, let's say you want to start a YouTube channel or write online. Without a second brain, you sit down to create and your mind goes blank. Where do ideas even come from? With a second brain, every time you consume content, you save the interesting part. A few months later, you've got hundreds of ideas and insights just sitting there. When you need to create something, you search your notes and pull from what you've already collected. You're never starting from zero. Now, for learning anything, here is something I wish I'd known earlier. The act of saving notes in your own words actually makes you learn better. When you watch a tutorial or read an article, don't just consume it passively. Pause. Write down your key points in your own words and save them. That process of translating information into your own language makes it stick in your brain way better than just watching or reading. Plus, if you need that information later for a project or conversation, you actually have it, unlike everyone else who watched the same video and remembers nothing. For building skills, say you're learning design or coding or public speaking or literally anything. Every time you learn a technique or see a good example, you save it. Over time, you build this personal knowledge base that's customized to exactly what you're learning. It's like having your own textbook. That's way better than any real textbook because it only contains things you personally found valuable. The real power, idea recycling. Here's something that sounds weird but works incredibly well. You can reuse your ideas multiple times. Let's say you write a good explanation of something in a Discord message to a friend. Save the explanation. Later, you might use it in a video or a blog post or another conversation. You already did the thinking work once. Why do it again? I save everything I create. Social media posts, comments, messages, everything. It becomes raw material for bigger projects later. Nothing is single use anymore. A second brain isn't being productive for productivity's sake. It's about respecting your own learning and making sure the time you spend consuming information actually matters. Start small, stay consistent, and don't overthink it.